former UFC middleweight champion of the world. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, good. I'm feeling good. We are in quarantine in Brazil. Everybody
Okay.
inside home.
Yeah.
So just going out to work out a little bit, run, and but not that much.
Yeah. So you own your own Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym, right?
Yes, I have my a gym in Brazil. That's Brazilian top team, Rio. But
Okay.
I have as well association around the world, Brazilian top team
Yeah.
international association that we have academies affiliates around the world
Okay.
in USA, Canada, some countries in Europe and Australia. So
That's amazing. I'm here in
yeah,
Canada, so um, what got you into MMA? Like, how did you learn of the UFC at such an early stage of? Because UFC really wasn't around that long. So what made you want to go for that company at the time?
yeah, my history in martial arts that a little bit, I kind of start to teach martial arts to be able to pay my university in Brazil. I was a black
Okay.
belt and I had to pay my studies. And then I started to teach, and then I was competing, as a black belt and top level. I was always in the
Yeah.
finals, and you know, I was the best, one of the best black belts in Custom Gracie School. And
Yeah.
then in 1991, there was a challenge between Jiu-Jitsu and Luta Livre, and I kind of put myself online to represent Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
But I wasn't the kind of something I was looking to become a professional fighter or looking for money or to be famous, nothing like that. It was a
Yeah.
kind of to represent my discipline against another discipline. I thought I should, help some way. That's the way I did.
Yeah.
And then after that, they created UFC. I think it was in '93, and then
Yeah.
later Pride, and then the market kind of opened around the world. Good tournaments, good, I mean, good shows, good events,
Yeah.
and they invite me to fight in Japan in '95. But I was about to make a fight against one of the Luta Livre guys that didn't fight in '91. And
Okay.
I put my student Carlos Barretos to fight to replace me in Japan.
Yeah.
And my fight didn't happen in Brazil '95.
Okay.
And then I restart to fight. At the time was a Vale Tudo name, wasn't MMA. And then I restart to fight in '96.
Okay.
A show in Brazil. I think the name of the show was IVF.
Yeah.
And they brought some Americans to fight in Brazil, some Japanese people, so foreigners to fight in Brazil. And then after that, I kind of became a professional, a real professional.
Yes.
And then they got an invitation to fight in martial arts, reality super fighting. That there was
Hmm.
a tournament, eight fighters, eight
Hmm.
fighters in the tournament, and the final was me against Tom Erickson. So
Yeah.
it was a '96, and then there's a history. A lot of things happened. '97. I fought one of the best guys in UFC was Jerry Bolander. I beat him in Brazil,
Hmm.
and then I was already looking for the best, for the best shows to fight, and then
And then you fought David Meunier for the title,
yeah,
or
Dave
did you?
Menier fought in 2002,
Okay. Was there a
and
fight? Oh, sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
Was there a fight that always stuck in your mind of what was the like? What was your favorite moment for yourself? As is there a favorite fight that sticks in your mind throughout your career?
I think I had a bunch of good fights. Again, I fought the best guys of my time. I fought
Yeah. Yeah.
very good fighters in UFC and Pride.
Hmm.
But I have a good performance, most of them.
Hmm.
Uh,
I mean, you did
but
take
I
a
like,
fight. You took a fight against Quinton Jackson on 5 days' notice. What made you do that?
yes, you know, uh, our student from Brazilian top team, Ricardo Arona, he arrived in Japan. He got an injury. He couldn't fight. And the Japanese, it was spoiled the show because they need somebody from Brazilian top team.
Yeah.
And they choose Ricardo because Ricardo already fought in Japan. He's a very, very good fighter, powerful fighter. And Japanese people, they kind of blame the owners of the company if the employee make a mistake. So
Hmm.
they blame me and my partners that were we were the head coaches and the founders of the team because of
Hmm.
the fault that Arona made because he couldn't fight because he got an injury, but he should let the the event knows a little bit earlier.
Hmm.
Anyway, they push Brazilian top team very hard, and I picked the fight because if not, they're gonna. Yeah, I believe they're gonna give a hard time for our team. So we got a lot of fighters fighting every show,
Yeah.
and so I kind of I made a deal. They made an offer. I made a counter offer, and they accept. So we closed the deal, and I fought. So this is one of the biggest challenge in my life.
Yeah.
Mental challenge, not just because I wasn't ready to fight.
Yeah.
I wasn't training hard. You know, helping my students, helping Arona and some of fighters that was fighting at the time. So this was a hard time, man. But it was a good
And
fight. I
oh, it
got
was.
very happy because was of my performance was better than I thought could be. I didn't know
Yeah.
how far I could be, in the fight. I didn't know if I could finish the fight, but I did. The last round I was very tired. I had no more
Yeah. No more energy.
footwork. My footwork was very slow, and I got some kicks on my leg.
Hmm.
But in general, I did very well. So
It was a good performance. You actually went to a split decision, and a lot of people thought you won that fight. So on 5 days' notice, it's nothing to that's a great achievement. Especially you fought Rampage in his prime when he was the animal. So that's brave.
yes,
Um,
yes.
was there a company that you liked to work for more at the time? Was the UFC or Pride? Because you vacated your title to sign with Pride, right?
No, the truth is that we got a we didn't get a deal, you know, with with UFC. Before my last fight in the contract was against Matt Lindler. I got a
Yes.
injury in my finger. I got infection in my finger that bothers my camp. So I wasn't training proper. I was a little bit worried. So I then
Hmm.
asked my manager to how see renew my contract, how will be my performance if I couldn't train proper. And they didn't. And then
Hmm.
I believe they put, they kind of bet uh, Lindland could beat me. Uh, and I did. I kind of, I did my thing. I did very well. And I
Hmm.
fought better than I thought I could do because my camp wasn't perfect, wasn't the way I wanted, but the sequence of fights, I was fighting every 3 months, hard
Yeah.
fights against, tough fighters. I fought Chuck Liddell, then I fought Dave Meney, then I went to fight Matt Lindgren. So the sequence of fights was
Yeah.
making my game much solider and better. And I fought very well, and I beat Lindgren. I submitted him twice in the same fight.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and then they made an offer after the fight, and because I had item in my contract that I could looking around. Pride was the biggest event at the time and pay more.
Yeah.
And I kind of make a research in the market. And when I wanted to close the deal, they kind of dropped the offer.
Yes.
So they dropped the offer and then make it harder for me to accept. And then I move away, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
then later I went to Pride.
Okay. Did you enjoy your time in Pride or UFC better?
UFC was already a great show, you know.
Yeah.
Dana White, Joe Silva, they treat me very well. Wasn't you
Yeah.
know when I left, it wasn't hard feelings for me. It was just a business. But Pride at the time, you know, Pride was huge, and you
Yes, it
know,
was the bigger
as a
company,
fighter,
absolutely.
yeah, as a fighter, I had a dream to fight in Japan because
Okay.
Japan was, you know, everything comes from.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
and Pride was the biggest show. You know, a fight for the small audience was a kind of 20,000 people. The average was 40,000 people, and the
Yeah.
biggest was 70,000 to 90,000 people in the audience in the arenas. So
People forget
something
how big it
crazy.
was.
Yeah, you know, in the ceremony, in the environment, you know, Japan is a kind of mystic thing, you know. So it was a mystic time for MMA at the time. The best
Yeah.
fighters was fighting Pride, you know. Even the guys from UFC went to fight Pride, like Chuck Liddell did,
Yeah.
Guy Mazur did, you know, Kevin Handeman. So it was a kind of, you know, show of the show. So it was something really big.
Yeah.
And it was
UFC was the
a
second.
very interesting. Yeah, it was a huge.
Oh.
You know,
Oh, you might be
worth
cutting
it
out
a
a
lot.
bit there.
I cannot
Oh, there you
regret.
go.
So yeah, what I said is that it was a very worth it experience of life,
Hmm.
and yeah, you know, it was something that moves to finish in Pride. So it was something that happens.
Absolutely. Is there someone that in the UFC like that really sticks to your mind nowadays? Like, is there someone that you see as huge potential that you always like to watch?
Uh, I like to watch fights. You know, I'm not kind of watch, but I watch some shows. You know, some you know big fights sometimes. Not those so big fights, but you know, I kind of like to watch some fighters like Damian Maia and you know Borrachinha is a Brazilian guy. I
Yeah.
like to watch Robert Whittaker from Jones. I mean, John John. Who else? A lot of good fighters fighting. You
Yeah.
know, Masvidal and you know
Are you a Conor McGregor fan?
Holloway and not a fan because of his behavior. You know, but he's a great fighter. You know, he's a great fighter. I like to watch his fights. He's a damn good guy. I mean, a damn good fighter. But I kind of disagree a little bit the way he promotes his fights. I think he goes too far. You know, he's a good.
Yeah.
He's, trash talk is good to a limit. You know, I believe he goes a little bit further than that. So, but he's a great fighter.
Um, since you're a big Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy, when I'm watching Damian Maia fight in UFC, they always say he is unbelievable. Do you think he is the top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy ever to go into UFC?
You know, he is one of the best for sure. You know, Dan is a great jiu-jitsu. He's one of the best. You know,
Yeah.
Jacare is very good as well. Durinho is very good. Charles Oliveira is a good jiu-jitsu guy, but he's a striker as well. But he has been submitting people more than knocking people out. So there are a lot of good jiu-jitsu fighters. Even
Yes.
Josh St. Pierre, who was a guy that trained jiu-jitsu a lot, submit a lot of people. So
Yeah, he was really
but
good.
Dana is the one that I like the most to watch. It's amazing skills.
Yes. Do you have any contact still with the UFC?
No, not anymore. I kind of retired as a professional coach, not coaching professionals anymore. I kind of have we have a team that the guys come from the professional
Yeah.
on my gym, and I kind of push uh, my affiliate schools to have their own MMA teams. So I kind of give support, I try to
Yeah.
pass the experience for them, help them with contacts, network. So I do my best
Hmm.
to help them the way I can. But
Yeah.
I kind of not working longer with as a professional coach. So I kind of
Yeah.
have a different goals nowadays.
My last question for you is do you still do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition yourself? And do you ever have the itch to fight in you still?
No, I'm still training. I'm still teaching, training every week. Kind of three, four
Hmm.
times, sometimes 5 times a week. I train jiu-jitsu, but I don't feel to compete anymore. I have competed for 30 years straight, and kind of give up of a social life. A kind
Yes.
of training, a kind of people that training very hard. I was very dedicated to my job.
Yes.
So and then I did everything I wanted to do. So it's not that I don't want to compete. I like competition, but
Hmm.
I don't feel like to get involved in the camp, like make sacrifice to be in
Yes.
shape.
People
And
don't
so
realize
I
how
have
hard
my
it
my
is.
family. Yeah, they don't realize how hard. Sometimes people call me to fight some jiu-jitsu matches, but they kind of completely retired. Still
Yes.
3 years ago, 4 years ago, I was about to fight MMA again. 50 years old, fighting MMA would be funny, but I'm still in shape, so I take care of myself.
Yeah.
I still training with the young boys in my academy. So, but nowadays I kind of, I don't have the feeling anymore to be involved in the camp. It's not about the
Yeah.
competition. I like to compete. I always, kind of, I like the feeling of the adrenaline, the fear, and everything
Yeah.
mixed. The feeling to uh, before the competition. So, but to do it right, you have to, do your best and sacrifice yourself. But I don't feel like do it anymore. That's this part of game that I kind of quit. You know.
Yes. You'd rather coach at this point in your career.
Yeah, nowadays I'm teaching kids a
Yeah.
lot. That's I kind of working with management of my schools, my association. I have a lot of stuff on the side
Hmm.
of my academy that I have been doing. So I'm and I don't have the time to give for
Yes.
the training camp as well. So I kind of have a different goals in mind that most important for me than just to compete jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely. Well, I greatly appreciate your time today for answering some questions. And again, we were with the Combat Hour, so I really, really thank you again.
Thank you, Brad. Thanks for your interview.